Well, hello everybody. You may notice it's a little later than my normal time. The hospital's screwing with my schedule. I may actually be going in later each day, which is really inconvenient. Are you finally ready? I'm on video. No, they've already got him in Mom's car. It's a big old drama.
Oh, no.
I'm on video. All right, well, what I'm doing, I totally redid my live shop show. I'm going to try to move much more volume in the live show than I originally had planned. I was going to try to use local resources to move things, give things away, but it's becoming a huge nightmare and problematic for no reason, so I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to do it all online. That means it's going to cost me 5 times the amount to lose money. What I mean by that is I was going to use local resources, like take things over to people I know and have them help distribute these things to charities, keep whatever they want basically, and the items that I just didn't want to mess with selling online. Not that there's no value, there's plenty of value. I just didn't want to invest the money. See, it's a real pain. The original way I designed my little Dragon Deals live shopping show required me to make no listings. I barely only had to have a picture for each show. Well, the only way to check out with that is to use a chat and do a PayPal invoice thing. I tried to explain it in the show and in the pre-show. I had this little video going, and it just was too complicated. So I'm now stuck having to be, because I don't have a local distribution for these products that I've sold. I'm not selling online. So I decided, well, I'll just leave it all in the warehouse. It'll take double as long to get rid of, but I don't have to deal with all this drama from all these different people trying to liquidate this there and this there. So I'm just not going to do that. I'll just do it all in my show. But that means I have to now make a listing for everything I put in the show, but I do it for free, and it's very easy. But I have to pay the employee to do that, the pictures and stuff. So I didn't want to spend any money to be able to sell this stuff off, because this is a recovery loss. So there's no money in it, period. But it's a lot easier than dealing with all the drama of just handing off. I've already had so much headache over just, 10 or 20 toads, and I have thousands. So I've decided, you know what, the charities, they're SOL. I'll just donate whatever I'm going to donate to the ones I use. Yeah, because I was going to try to distribute the stuff that I didn't really want to mess with to a lot more people and places for free. But it's such a pain in the butt, so I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to have a lot more stuff I'm going to do online, which means a lot of the stuff that I wanted to just donate, there's nothing wrong with. It's just the individual product point. There's not very much profit, so you have to sell items in lots. So what I'm talking about, I was only going to do in my live show over the next year, about 4,000 listings worth of stuff. Now that's a lot, right? But since I'm not going to do as many donations because it's just a headache to deal with this, I'm going to have double that amount of listings. But I'm not going to be doing any individual lot. Hey, dogs! I'm not going to be doing individual sales on the little cheap and expensive things. Those will be entire lots. For example, let's say I don't think. But I used to have Hello Kitty toothbrushes. I think I still have a few. Shut him up. Every day. But with the Hello Kitty toothbrushes, what I would do is instead of having you buy 1 or 2 toothbrushes at a time, I'll say, okay, there are 50 Hello Kitty toothbrushes for boys and girls. We'll zip through what's in the lot real quick, and it'll just be a flat, low price, including shipping, for the entire lot. Not small individual lots like what you would break them down into. So, for example, at the Hello Kitty toothbrush again, if I have, 400 of those, you would be buying 400 at once. Real cheap. than what you would do to make the real money on them. Don't sell them individual. You could sell them individually and make a little tiny bit of profit, but you'll never come up in search. And I will tell you all this stuff in the show. I'll tell you all the nuances of returns, anything I've had, because all these things have been live with full data matrix workup. Better than anything eBay offers. So, it should be pretty good. We should have a lot of products available. There should be money to be made, or if nothing else, you just get super mega good deal. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I really didn't want to do it all through the show. I wanted to liquidate the stuff that wasn't that important through charities, but it's just a nightmare dealing with the people. So I'm just not going to do it. That means there's going to be a lot more money to be made out of my show. Probably make more on the little lot, what I call little lots. It means little products. Probably make more on the little lots than you will on the high-end stuff. But you never know. I mean, I have some real high-end stuff super duper cheap. I have a little bit of a nightmare this morning before I even go into the hospital, and they're messing with my schedule, which really ticks me off. I liked when I had to be there around 9 or 10 or 11 at the latest. Now they're talking, they want me to come in the smack dab middle of the day. That is a pain in the butt, because I work all day. So I'm going to end up, I tried it last night, instead of going to sleep at night, I wake up at night. And then I make it so like the middle of the day is kind of towards the end. And then I have shows at 7. I have a show tonight about money at 7 tonight. So right after the show, in other words, instead of being up early evening all night, I'm going to end up being up all through the night instead of just up very late. I'll be actually asleep very late and up extremely early. I'll probably be getting up about 7, 8, probably about 1 or 2 every day instead of 3 or 4 like I do now. I know it sounds like only a couple hours difference, and it is, but it changes the entire day for me. And then I just don't have time to deal with these little, I want to donate this to charity, you need to come look through this stuff. Why? I dropped it off to get rid of it. I have this here, I need to move there, and I just don't have time for that. So I'm just not even going to do any of the charity stuff through other people. So it's going to be, the charities I'm going to be using are going to be a lot shorter list. I was trying to distribute this to every charity that I could possibly find, but it's not worth my headache. So it's only going to, everything's going to go to like 3 charities, 3 main charities. They need the stuff, so I want her. 2 deal with children and 1 with women, battered women shelter. And I'm still going to do that orphanage thing through my mom with what she's got. That's it. And then, well, I said the battered women shelter, the Indian school orphanage thing, and what was the other one? Oh, the recovery thing. Yeah, recovery. People that are in recovery, medical recovery, they get, there's little programs in Kansas City, they can get extra assistance because the state doesn't do crap for you. That's where all the polyester pillowcases, stuff that I don't want to put on the store. All the low end stuff like that will be in those. All right, so if you look on my page, you will see a little video right under this. And it's the new procedure to use my Wednesday show. It's extremely easy. I had it a little complicated before. Now it's very, very simple. You watch the show because that's the only place you get the super, doors. You watch the show, that's where you get the super duper easy, low cost price. That's where you get the liquidation price. In other words, I may even already have made the clearance price listing. Clearance price listing is going to be a little bit higher than what's in the show. is I get on there in the show, and not all the listings that are in there. I'm going to have like 100 or so. We're just going to grab a few each week, and I'll pull those items up, show them to you in the show, and then I'll talk about the details like I'm going to give you on these things. And then when I talk about the details, I will cut it down to a, like, where I'm barely not losing money sending it to you. And you bid on that in the live show. That is the only time that you get. Go ahead and go. I'll be back up in a minute. I'll be up in a minute. I'm almost done. I'll be up there in a minute. I'm annoyed. Now what? All right. So I'm going to have a lot more stuff to move, but it's going to be a lot easier. Basically, you bid in the show. I will have some items that there will be no listing in the app for. I created an app that goes right along with the liquidation. And what we do is we put a whole bunch of pictures in that app. Now, it's not done yet. A lot of it's just going to be done right before Wednesday. A little things will filter in between now and then. But there'll be a whole bunch of pictures added, not links to buy the items yet. After the show, some of those items that there's pictures of will be mentioned in the show with the super mega discount. If you bid in the show, and you must bid in the show to get the super duper cheap price. They're going to be priced cheap enough that you probably just look through the app and buy them at clearance, because clearance to me is just getting them out of the warehouse. So there's no profit in any of those. So you go in the show, you make your super duper cheap bid. Then after you make your super duper cheap bid, after the show, there is a chat window. You still have to use the chat window, because that's how you're going to get the link to buy the item. Because within the next day, like the show is at 1 o'clock, I'm going to try to get the listing created within that day as fast as possible for the people that actually bought in the show first. If the item didn't get bought in the show, it still gets made into a listing, but the price isn't going to be what I said in the show. It's going to be marked up by $5 or $10 automatically, because I had to make a listing, and it's available for anyone to buy. I'm not going to make the listings in my store so dirt cheap that they're insanely cheap like you're getting them in the show. But they will be insanely cheap, period. Lower than anything you can buy online, because it's a clearance liquidation sale. So let me recap what this means. You can watch the little video. I think I spelled it out pretty good. You watch the Wednesday show at 1 p.m. Central. That's important, because in that show is where you're going to get all the data about the item, the returns, all the metrics, everything that's available in the market now, just as if I was going to relist the item. And I'll tell you flat out, this one's not going to make you a dime, but you can get it for yourself super cheap. This one, you're getting uber cheap. So I'm going to make a bunch, or you're going to make a bunch of money on it. And I will tell you quite frankly and honestly about each and every product in the show. So when you bid on it in the show, you can't buy it yet. I haven't made a listing yet. It's in the show. Don't know what the price is going to be because you haven't bid on it yet. So the people that bid in the show, we as quickly as possible, I say within a day, but I'll try to do it within hours. We create a listing at the price you got it for. I will need you to have communicated with me in chat before I make the listing, so I can very quickly Facebook message, and the link for the chat is in the app. Very quickly, you have already said, okay, I bid $10 on the comforter. Here, I bid $10 on the comforter. Here's the item number. The item number will be on the picture, even before the listing. So you put the item number, what you bid. I'll verify with the video real quick. Then my employee and I will take very quickly, throw some pictures in, a very basic description, enough that you can clearly tell what the product is, again, besides what I said in the show. And then there will be a link added to that item, but it will not be in the app pictures yet, because anyone that clicks that link is going to get it at your clearance price. That's the reason for the chat. You only need the chat app. Only you need to use that chat app when you have bought in the show, or if it's an item that there's no listing on that was in the show. That's the only time you would need to use that chat app. If you bid on something, you must use the chat app so I can get you that link immediately. everything includes free shipping. Everything. So when I quote you the price, it's also including the shipping. So once you bid in the show, you sent me the little message in Facebook Messenger, but it's done through the chat app. I went right through that one window because I have several businesses. So you send me the message, I bid on this, I won, you rang the bell, I can't wait to get it. You can even ask a few questions. Anything you want to know about it, I'll tell you. So within a few hours or by the next day, you will need to look at your Facebook Messenger, because what's going to be in there is the link to actually buy the item from a strikingly website, which is PayPal, and it is a secured purchase site. So you would just be buying it like you would from any other website. But at the price that you were quoted in the show. Now here's where the kicker is. In the app, that item with an item number will still be there, but will not have your link in it. You have to get the link either by going to my store or using the link in the chat, because that's the link I'm going to make you with that super discounted price. I'm not going to leave that link live very long. I really want you to buy that as soon as you get the message, because anyone at any time can go into my store and say, oh, that's super cheap, and buy it. And then you're SOL. So that's the only thing that's a little complicated. Everything else, if you're watching the show and you're scrolling through and one of the items already has a link in it, for right now, there's some comforters at the beginning that don't have a link. They say, contact me in chat. That's the old method. For those items right now, you'll need to contact me in chat. But this week, we will have a link on those. The price, anything that has a price on it, is not the clearance price from the show. It is what is actually for sale at clearance level. So it's still a super duper cheap deal at what I raised it up to. It's only about $5 or $10 more than the loss liquidation level, unless you're buying at the loss liquidation several products. So it's much easier. Before, you had to contact me, send me the address, I figured out the shipping later, and I told you how much it was, we adjusted your price. That's too convoluted and difficult. So this way, you bid at the cheaper price only in the show. If you win an item in the show, then I make you a link for it very quickly, and you get it like that day or the next day, and you buy it, and you get a super uber cheap deal. If you missed the show and you're watching the replay, no big deal. You won't get the super cheap price, but you're still gonna get a price that's gonna make your eyes pop out, and really, really cheap. So that is how the show will work. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. I need to go in and deal with totes today, and then I have to get to the hospital. I will be on video on my way back. I will not be at the hospital very long, at least this afternoon. They want me now to come in late tonight after my show. They're trying to switch me to a midday schedule. I am not liking that. Alrighty, guys, well, let me let you go. I'm going to go in here and deal with whatever it is I got to deal with, and then I will be back on video. I may come back on my way up very soon, or I may just wait until I'm on my way home. The show tonight is at 7 p.m. That is not a selling show. That is an e-commerce show. And the show tonight, I'm going to be talking about money. All the business aspects of money. And money is a big deal in your business. That's what most of that's what most of you are doing it for. But we're going to talk about the nuances of money, the things that people don't pay attention to that can greatly affect their business. We're also going to talk to you about ways to generate money that you may not be aware of, many of which are totally free and extremely easy. Not going to tell you ever that you can just sit down, download an app, pay a little money, and get rich. People that tell you that, yeah, a few people might, but basically